Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of Mission Matters. My name is Adam Torres, and if you'd like to apply to be a guest on the show, just head on over to missionmatters.com and click on Be Our Guest to apply. All right, so today we are in downtown Los Angeles at NAREP's Latina 2. Let me tell you, I've been coming to NAREP events now for quite a few years, and it's one of my favorite type of event and one of my favorite organizations in real estate to support and to be a part of. So happy that they invited us back out. And my next guest here at Latina 2 is Melissa. Melissa, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
All right, Melissa. So first thing first, Latinitude is a big event year after year. I think this is my second or maybe third year coming. Have you been to one of these before?
I've been to several NAREP events, but my first Latinitude event.
Oh, so I have to ask, what keeps you coming back? I mean, there's a huge community here. There's a lot of real estate, a lot of professionals. I mean, there's business to be had. What keeps you coming back?
I think it's the partnerships, learning from other professionals in the industry, whether it's other real estate agents, learning like what is impacting their day-to-day business as the real estate market ebbs and flows, learning what other loan officers are doing. I'm a loan officer myself, so it's nice to know what other banks and other institutions are willing to offer that is outside of my box. So whenever I have a client that doesn't fit into something I can do, is there somebody else I can kind of put them in touch with?
Wow.
So it's just knowing, getting a pulse of the market. And, sometimes it's just nice to kind of get out there, show your face. I think we've kind of been so accustomed to, since COVID, of being little
virtual,
hermits and doing everything virtual. There is something to be said about seeing somebody's flesh and like shaking hands and, just even if it's a casual interaction, that interaction goes so much further than just talking business all the time.
Yeah. Well, how let's go into your background a little bit. How did you get into the real estate industry, whether it's in what you're currently doing in terms of mortgages or just in general? Where did that start for you?
So I started at the bank in 2004. So 21 years ago.
That's pre-tech wreck. That's not pre-tech wreck. That's pre-housing crisis, 2008. No, tech wreck was about 2002, so a little bit after. Okay.
Yeah, so it's my first year of college. I pretty much was just looking for a part-time job to help pay for school, and I heard the bank was paying for tuition reimbursement. So what a perfect opportunity to work and get paid because I had to have a job and have my schooling paid for. And I realized I actually really enjoyed banking. So in my first 10 years at the bank, I focused my business on wealth management. I was securities licensed, a certified financial planner. I focused on really looking at the overall estate plan for my clients. And about 10 years ago, my husband now, who was my boyfriend in college, we've been together for 20 years, decided it was time to get married and start having kids. And I just felt that wealth management, the type of time obligation it required at the time, didn't fit what I was looking for on a work-life balance. And I realized asset management and debt liability management was actually one of my favorite things. And it felt like mortgage could have been the perfect, peg to maybe transition to. So I just changed arms within the bank from wealth management to private mortgage banking. And I've been doing that for the last 10 years. So thankfully, I'm using my wealth management background. I came with a solid book of business connections with business managers, CPAs, other real estate agents, just a really strong client book of business, and have been pretty successful, thankfully, over the last 10 years. And
And now, did I catch that right? You've been with the same bank for 20 years, or did I miss that? Or it was multiple banks? It's fine. You don't have to say any names, but I was just curious.
Yeah. So no, I've been pretty much with the same bank for 21 years. I left for 2 years, like 10 years ago, right beforehand, to kind of explore other opportunities, and then came right back. So
I just think that's amazing. And one of the things, and one of the reasons I asked you that question is because I feel like one of the professions that don't get enough credit. I was in wealth management once upon a time, so I spent 14 years in that business. I've been 9 years full-time in media, and for everybody at home, yes, I started as a teenager, so yes, okay. And I did, actually, when I was 16, working at Raymond James and Associates. So that being said, while people are calculating my age, chill. So that being said, talk a little bit about like your longevity in the industry. What keeps you involved in just financial services in general? It doesn't have to be mortgages, because you've been on many different sides of it, and you've done a lot of different things, probably even throughout your history, your career we're not going through today. But why is financial services? Why stick with it? Like, what do you get out of it? What's so rewarding?
I think even though whatever line of business you're in, whether it's wealth management or mortgage, and you feel that, you're very specific in the products and services you have to offer, every interaction is completely different than the last one. So you may have 10 people all buying a house, but they're buying different price points. Their down payment situation is different. Their income situation is different. Their employment situation is different. Their family dynamics is different. So every little interaction that you do is kind of like a new puzzle to solve. And I think that just makes it fun because you're not really doing the same thing, but you can also build on what you've learned in the past with other clients that may help somebody new. And you may bring solutions and options to them that they didn't even think about. And it really feels like you're making a difference. So, and when you get that gratitude back, it's like, oh, I really did do something good. Yes, I'm not curing cancer, but like without me, you wouldn't have a home. So
that's awesome. So advice for the next group, next crop, somebody's graduating out of college. How do you break in the industry nowadays? Like, I know it's been a while since you got started, but maybe you got some younger coworkers that are just getting started. I don't know. How do you break in the industry nowadays? What do you recommend?
I definitely recommend one, if you want to go, say, straight to real estate, whether being a real estate agent or going straight to lending, is find someone who's willing to mentor you. So I know I personally have had, multiple juniors under me that are new people into the industry who probably didn't come from banking, didn't come from real estate, didn't come from anything financial services related, but maybe they had a sales background or a customer service background, and they wanted to try something new. So having somebody that's willing to take the time out of their day to sit down with you, because sometimes going back to basics, even if you've been doing it forever, kind of reminds you, oh, I forgot that this is something that seems so simple in my day to day. It's something that is so imperative to my business every day. So being able to teach somebody is really impactful. And then just being willing to put the time in. So I know with interest rates coming up the way they have, a lot of people have gotten out of the industry, whether it's agents or loan officers. So, and the business has changed. It wasn't just sit by your phone and the phone's just going to start ringing because rates are down because people heard in the news.
Right.
If rates aren't down and that was your primary business was refinances, for example, what are you going to do when the phone stops ringing? So whether you're new in the business or a veteran of the business, you need to learn how to adapt to the changing environment. So that means getting your face out there, sitting in open houses.
Coming to LatinaTude coming to meet people here. Shameless plug. Come on, joining NAREP.
Exactly. Join NAREP, join, professional organizations, join your, Chamber of Commerce, look at other networking groups, because there are people looking for work. There are people looking for loans. There are people looking to buy. There are people looking to do business. You just have to find them. And if you're expecting them to come to you, you're just going to be a sitting duck. You need to show people that you've got the grit and the ambition to go for it, and then show them what you can do. So don't feel like you're too big to pass out, your business cards or go and introduce yourself to somebody you've never met before. The more touch points that you have, just increases the probability of somebody coming back to you and say, hey, I happened to randomly meet you a few months ago. Can we,
do some business?
Can we do some business? And you'll never know when you're going to meet somebody. I was just at the Backstreet Boys concert in Vegas, which everyone should go to a couple weeks ago.
That was in the Dome, right? I feel like I saw it on like the Sphere. There you go. I said the Dome. Oh, sorry. Okay, it's not the Dome. It's the Sphere. Yes, that was fancy. I was like, whoa, those big old
It was not a phase. Backstreet, it's real. But, there I was sitting next to, my little seatmates, people I've never met before. The lady next to me happened to be a real estate agent here in Los Angeles.
Stop. Okay.
And we just happened to be talking. Where are you from? What do you do? Random, casual conversation you have with a stranger, your 10-minute elevator, okay, we'll talk later. And then it's like, oh, I could use you. You can use me. And then here we are bonding over the Backstreet Boys.
Insane.
And who would have thought that? So, you just never know who you're going to meet. And maybe it'll go somewhere, maybe not. Now I have a cool story, something that happened to me at the Backstreet Boys concert.
You're telling on a podcast. Go figure.
Exactly. Look at that.
Well, Melissa, this has been great having you on the show today. I know the event's going on. I know they're calling you. You got to be up on stage pretty soon, so I'll let you go get ready. But before we do that, I want you to look into the camera. If people want to follow you, connect with you, do some business with you, how do people reach out, please?
So you can reach me at Wells Fargo. My email address is mel@wellsfargo.com, and phone number 949-293-5119. My social media is Melissa M. Velasquez WF on Instagram, and you can find me on Facebook as Melissa Velasquez with Wells Fargo.
Fantastic. And for everybody watching, just so you know, we'll definitely put some links in the show notes so you can just click on the links and head right on over. And speaking to the audience, if this is your first time with Mission Matters and you haven't done it yet, hit that subscribe or follow button. This is a daily show. Each and every day, we're bringing you new content, new ideas, and hopefully new inspiration to help you along the way in your journey as well. So again, hit that subscribe or follow button. And Melissa, thanks so much for coming on the show.
Thank you.